guys, today I'm telling you the recipe for pita wrap from scratch. That means I'm going to be telling you the recipe for pita wrap bread and the filling for pita wrap. So keep on watching to know the recipe for both. For the pita bread, we are going to be needing 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons of oil, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half teaspoon of salt for taste, and 1 cup of lukewarm milk. The flour, I have already sifted it. I just wanted to show you that. And the baking powder, so this is what baking powder is. I'm using Rossmore, and make sure to not mistake baking powder for baking soda. There's a huge difference between both of them. And I'm using lukewarm milk. That means you can dip your finger in it and you won't get burnt. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to be adding the flour first because there's some stuck in here. Okay, I'm going to set this aside. Okay, so the flour goes in here first. Okay, and the oil. There. The salt and the baking powder. Yeah. I'm going to add in half the milk first, and I'm going to turn the mixer on. Oh, it's off. Turn it on from there. It's on from there. Now that it's starting to come together, I'm going to add in the rest of the milk. And let this form a dough. The dough has come together, and over here I have approximately a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour that I'm going to be using for kneading the dough. I'm just going to sprinkle some of it over here on our surface. I'm going to take the dough out of this bowl now. There, it's coming. Boop. So this is the kind of consistency you want, and this will give it the best dough. Bread that you want. So now that all of the dough is... So I'm using a knife, the back of a knife, to just scrape the excess dough off. And it's important that you use a rubber spatula for this because it's really hard to handle with your hand, and at the end you'll just have it all stuck to your hand. I'm gonna dust the whole of our leftover flour on top of this. It may be a little hard to handle, but this is how you want it. And you want to make sure that you're using measuring cups and measuring spoons while you're making this to get the accurate results, or else if you have too much baking powder, there could be some mistake in the dough at the end. So make sure you get these measuring spoons and measuring cups because you will get the best results from these only. So I have my dough here. Flour dust on it. I'm just going to knead it. It's really hard to handle this, and as you can see, it's only been a few seconds. Something very messy. Now this is well kneaded. I'm going to take some oil, brush it in the bowl. And take some of the same oil and lightly drizzle it in my hand. There. Just going to pick this up, put it in our bowl over here, and I'm going to be resting this for 15 minutes over here only. So I'll see you when it's done. Preparing our pita wrap filling, and over here I have half kg of mutton, minced mutton, and over here I have half kg of chicken strips. So, and I'm going to be using the same spices for both, so the taste will only come in difference because of the meat that we're using. For the spices, I have 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of paprika, a pinch of cinnamon for taste, and this is normally what Arabic people do, so this is like what will give the boost in taste. And I have 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Always measure your ingredients, please get these measuring spoons. And I have the same spices for the chicken strips as well. So I'm gonna add all the spices into the mutton first. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, cinnamon, and paprika, and 1 tablespoon of the lemon juice. I'm just going to go in with my hands and mix it all in. Okay, so now this is done. I'm going to take this glove off, wear another one, because we're using 2 different types of meat. I'm gonna wear this. Okay, it's on. Okay, now for the chicken strips, marinated with the same spices: cinnamon, salt, paprika, black pepper, and garlic powder. All the spices, put it in there, and the lemon juice, and mix it together. Make sure that every strip of chicken has the spice on, because you don't want it to be bland in some areas. Okay, now that this is mixed, I'm going to take this glove off, and I'm going to be putting this in the freezer for around 15 minutes so that the spices get soaked into the meat. We're preparing our white pita sauce, and for this sauce, we are going to be needing 4 tablespoons of yogurt, 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of tahini. This is what tahini is. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of garlic salt. If you do not have garlic salt, you can take ½ teaspoon of both salt and garlic powder and mix them together. So this is what garlic salt is, if you do not know, and Italiano gives the best garlic salt. So let's mix these all things. So yogurt, mayonnaise. You guys should really make this sauce, because this is the thing that will really give the taste of the pita wrap and enhance the flavors. The lemon juice, black pepper, tahini, and the garlic salt. Just going to mix these all things together with a whisk. So now this is well mixed. I'm going to be converting the sauce into this other bowl I have over here. And there you have it. Your pita sauce is ready. So over here for the pita garnish, I have some iceberg that is finely chopped, some capsicum that is again finely chopped, onions and tomato again finely chopped, and I have some shredded cheese and coriander over here for garnish. So let's head to the pita. Both the meats out of the freezer, and I have my pans already preheating here. I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of olive oil each, but if you do not have olive oil, you can add any other oil that is available to you. So that's 1 tablespoon here, and 1 tablespoon in here. There. Let's set this side. I'm gonna add the minced mutton into this. And the chicken strips into this. We're going to break these apart. And I'm just gonna let these cook until they're tender from the inside. Has been rested for 15 minutes. I've taken it out. I'm just going to do a slight cleaning of this. Here. I'm going to take some flour, put it on top. It doesn't stick. There. Okay. I'm just going to roll it. Now that this is rolled, I'm going to be cutting this into smaller sections so that we have equal sized rolls. Okay, so I got 6 out of the whole dough. I'm going to take one of these sections and roll it. Make this dough ball out of it. And when you think it's starting to stick, set it down, take flour in your hand, and continue rolling it. I'm just going to do this with the rest of them, and then I'm going to roll them. I have my tava warm, and I have one of my doughs over here. I'm just going to put it on the tava and let this slightly cook. And I have some oil over here for frying, and I have taken both the meats off the stove and I'm set it aside. Number 3 of our tortillas, and this one's done. I'm going to take this out, and I have the chips frying over here. So I'm going to continue making the pitas. This is cooked until it has some golden spots on top. I'm going to flip this, and on this side I'm going to add some chicken first. I have some chicken strips that we just made. And add some more. And I'm going to add in some cheese on the side. There. And now I'm gonna bring this to making the mutton pita wraps. I have my minced mutton here to add mutton here. Okay, there. And I'm going to add the cheese on top. It's a little empty. There. And I'm gonna bring this to the counter as well. Both my chicken wrap to my right and my mutton to my left. And I have my sauce over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of the sauce, put it at the side, over here. I'm gonna do the same with the mutton. There. Now that that's done, I'm going to take some fries. First over here to the mutton. Then to the chicken. There. It's enough. And now our veggies. Let's be healthy a little bit. Onions. There. I'm going to put the rest over here. Some iceberg. And to the other side as well. bell peppers. And to the other side. Coriander. Or if you have parsley, you can use that, but again, because of lockdown, it's hard to get parsley outside. And obviously, tomatoes. And drizzle some more of the sauce on top. Mix them over here. See, as you can see, both of these are the exact same things, except the meat. Wrap this one up. I'm going to wrap it in some foil. There. And there you have it. Your chicken one is ready. The same with the mutton. Pick it up from one side, pick it up from the other. Slide this underneath. There. So you have your mutton one and the chicken ready. And you guys should really try these recipes, and if you do, tell me in the comments down below and give this video a big thumbs up. Go follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok, and I'll see you there. Bye!